The Blackstone, endless side quests. Loading complete.
Hello and welcome to the Blackstone, the endless side quest, diving to the bottom of the Walmart bargain bin of quests so you don't have to. Welcome everybody. As usual, I have my co-host Kimmer. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Has been a hot minute. I know summer kind of got away from us and life decided to do its life thing that it lifes.
Yeah, that's true. I felt that. I've been working a lot. Got a new promotion at work, and starting school again. So I've been kind of busy, but we're here. We'll make it work.
No, we certainly will. I'm glad to be back. It's been a hot minute. We got lots of anime to talk about. We're not going to talk about LCS and Worlds just because need some other people in on that one. But Worlds is coming up and might do some league talk next time, depending on when the next time is. So before we get into the new season of anime, what have you been watching on the current season? Anything striking you? I know this current season is kind of mid at best.
Yeah, I've been watching Wisteria, A Wand and Sword. That's pretty good. Latest episode was super good. Obviously Tower of God season 2. I haven't really been watching a lot. Obviously the new One Piece episodes that drop regularly, super good. We're finally getting stuff. I mean, I read the manga, so I already knew it was coming, but we finally get it animated a year later.
Right.
It's finally diving deep into what this whole 25-year mystery is. And even like at the end of this new arc, we still like more questions are even being asked. Like, yes, they released a bunch of info and stuff, but now it's like even more questions are being asked. So I don't know. I haven't really been watching much anime this season. I've been, like I said, I've been super busy, but I've been definitely keeping up with Wisteria and definitely keeping up with Tower of God, at least. I think there's one more on there that I've been keeping up on, but I don't think I've watched the last couple episodes, so I forget what it was. I think it was Elusive Samurai, I believe. Yeah, Elusive Samurai. I'm almost caught up, but it's really good. Really, really good.
I haven't watched that one. It wasn't even on my list.
It's a beautifully made anime. I think you would really like it.
All right, well, I'll add it to my list. So I have unfortunately watched a shit ton of anime, so I'm just going to fire them off and tell you kind of very quick and basic thoughts of what I think. VTuber, I left my stream on. That one, if you like slapstick comedy, that one is very slapstick. It is also very, very fast paced. So if you're watching it subbed, you got to be able to read fast because they pop up the comments that people are saying while they're streaming. And they're really fast. If you're watching it in the dub, which I don't think is quite caught up with where the sub is, usually the case. Sayu's Sayu's partner, because they're they, them, is the voice actress who plays the main character, has two personalities. She comes off being like a sort of a snow princess to start, and then she forgets to turn off her stream and she starts drinking, and she's very vulgar and rude and sexual and like just complete polar opposites. It's a fun series. It's definitely an interesting series. It is not for everybody. I can guarantee you that right now. The one little unique caveat I like about it is all of the characters, you only see their VTube avatars. You don't see what they actually look like in person.
Oh.
And all the other people, like the NPCs of the show, are just like headless bodies, just like plainly drawn, like 2D animation. Their manager has a mouth but no eyes, just has like bangs over her face. So she's got a little bit of detail, as if to say, we're only going to learn about the VTubers. I thought that was kind of unique. I've seen a lot of reviews about Osan. That one, when I saw it, I was like, oh, people are going to hate this. Because it is another overpowered protagonist, blah, 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 blah. The way that it's done, and the intro is kind of alluding to it, is it's kind of a throwback to the old school overpowered protagonist animes.
Mm-hmm.
Where the main character is kind of dense, kind of doesn't know what's going on, doesn't realize how strong he is, which is kind of an isekai trope, but the way they do it is he was isolated with S-tier heroes for 2 years, never testing his strength among the normal folk, so he doesn't know, right?
Right.
The fight scenes in that are actually really well done. Next up is Not Allowed in Another World, which is based off a real historical author, very loosely based. And he's like one of the first people to get isekai'd by Truck-kun. In fact, Truck-kun is a guide for people to find this other world. So whenever Truck-kun is summoned, you're being summoned to be a hero. So it's an honor to be killed by Truck-kun. But apparently the main character was a famous author in Japan. It seems like a really stupid isekai until you get to know what his power is. And the darkness and in-depth of the stories told within each episode or couple episodes is actually really good. It is hard to get into. I almost dropped it, but the episode 3 kind of is like, maybe I should give it one more episode. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I'm 3-4 episodes in on that one too.
Yeah, that one's
Catch up.
the last episode was like, wow, like this is in depth. The one I really want to harp on and yet really like is Failure Frame. Now, you and I have seen Mac's reviews on Failure Frame. The animation is inconsistent. It is brutally inconsistent. In fact, the first couple of episodes look like they're like a early 2000s video game animation on like backdrop. And it translates into normal animation, into CG animation, into this 2.5D animation. It's a really hard watch. But for an isekai, it's actually intriguing.
That's what the kill was saying.
And it's like, holy shit. Like it actually seems kind of neat. Like it has all of its tropes. Is it a great anime? No. It would never be a top tier anime on my list. Is it an anime that you can watch throughout the season and be like, you know what, this is kind of a fun anime? 100%. If you can get past the animation, it does get more stable as the series goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But the first 4 or 5 episodes are just absolutely like, it's like Pain Fight Naruto shit animation. It doesn't belong there. The next one I wanted to talk about was, this one surprised me, was the strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army is a human. That one just seemed like your regular overpowered human on the bad guy side, trying to just kind of justify his cause. And yet it caught me off guard because the story is actually really good. And in the last
after 3 episodes,
it takes a while to get into. The only reason I continued watching it was because when I got to episode 4 and 5, we hadn't watched episode 4 or 5, and there was nothing else out that day, so we said, fuck it, we'll just watch it. The last episode had probably the coolest death scene I have seen this entire season in anime.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't care if you watch the anime, you should watch episode, I think it's 11 or 10. The one character dies, not one of the good guys, but one of the bad guys dies, in like the coolest death I've seen this season. There are some other animes that are out there that are doing really well. I started watching I Parry Everything this week. Mayonaka Punch is just kind of a fun one. That one's
I was actually going to binge that here in the next couple days.
Mayonaka Punch is definitely the kind of anime that you can just have a good time watching. The animation is gorgeous. The direction of it, the writing of it is all very like the anime knows what it is and doesn't try to pretend to be anything else. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a very unusual premise. I think that's pretty much everything that I've watched. If I've forgotten any, it's because they're not that good to begin with. Other than, of course, Slime. And everyone's like, oh, this whole season is filler. And I keep telling people, I'm like, if you have a character who builds and leads a country, and it's a brand new country, unfortunately, you're going to have that political shit. Right?
True.
And that's one of the reasons why I loved Rebuilds a Kingdom. He's not overpowered. He's just a guy who studied civil servant, like he was a civil service major. And that whole isekai, it's only 12 episodes long, and I hope we get a second season, is probably one of the best isekais I've ever seen because it knows what it is. The animation's great, the storytelling's great, and all of his harem, all of the girls and stuff like that, none of them are absolute morons. They all have their own culture, their own mind, their own way of doing things, and it is stated very clearly why they are the way they are. So, and which is actually unique for harem anime, right?
Right. No,
So,
I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, I don't really like it when they're all just idiots.
and that's just it. I mean, all of them like him for a very different reason, and they all understand the other girls like him for the reasons they like him. There's not really cat fighting. I mean, there's still kind of the typical I don't like that you like him kind of thing. I mean, that's kind of a normal reaction. But I mean, that anime came out, what, like 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now, and I'm still talking about it. That's how good it is. So, but let's get on to the new season. So, I don't have the list in front of me. I have already seen the list. So I will fire off my comments when you come across something that I am going to watch, or like, I'm not even going to touch that with the 10-foot pole. And anything I don't know about, I'll be like,
Okay, we got a really deep list here. We got ReZero Season 3. That's going to have 16 episodes coming October 2nd.
Yep.
I've never actually watched ReZero, but I heard it is really good and that I should watch it. So I might.
Like my wife watched it, loves it. I watched the first couple episodes and like, this is really stupid. This trope is going to get old so fast. And then she sat me down. She's like, no, you need to watch the entirety of the first season. I was like, so I made her watch an anime that she wasn't watching first season. That's kind of how she pulls me into these things. I forget which anime it was, but she liked it. I got into ReZero. ReZero is incredibly dark and well written. The only problem I have with it are the two simps that have one-sided simpage. So that's the only annoying part. The animation is fantastic. The writing is fantastic. The darkness of where they go in the psyche is brilliant.
Okay.
I think it is definitely a good watch, especially if you want something that is a solid watch. It's a great anime. I would say it's like upper echelon of an A tier anime. I would not put it in S just because of some of the romantic tropes that drive me insane. That's just a personal choice.
Okay. I'll definitely have to actually try to watch it. Then we also got Dragon Ball Dynama, Toriyama's last little piece that he worked on, which will be coming October 11th. Should have about 20 episodes. So I'll be definitely tapping into that, watching it. We also got Blue Lock Season 2. Comes October 5th. It's going to be about 14 episodes. I'm actually super excited for this because we have, I don't really want to spoil it too much because there's not much at release but a trailer, but we're actually going to see like a true soccer match, and it is nothing but hype. Reading it in the manga, I was like, I cannot wait for this to be animated because it's kind of like a payoff. Because I don't know if you've watched Blue Lock.
I don't watch very many sports animes. I know you've been harping on me to watch it. I have not yet.
It's really good because it knows what it is. It's not like a typical like sports anime where it's like I must power up for the sake of my teammates.
So it's not Prince of Tennis where he summons a dinosaur in the middle of a tennis court, but for some reason he's still an amateur.
Pretty much, it knows what it is, and the main character like loses a lot, which is why I like it. And there's finally, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's finally a payoff. Probably that's going to happen towards the end of this season for the main character. We also got Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War Core 3 coming October 5th with 13 episodes. It's the third of the 4 cores they have for it. So we're almost at the end game of Bleach. I'm really excited because the first 2 cores were super well animated. And it just left off with, it's just literally every episode, there's pretty much action. Like all 26 episodes, there's someone getting chopped off, the heads flying, blood splattering, people dying. I don't know. I'm really glad they came back to Bleach, make that.
It's almost like they learned their lesson of animating a full anime based on the full manga after it's finished rather than doing 500 episodes of filler.
Exactly. So I'm really glad. We also got Tower of God Season 2, Core 2. I know that I think it's going to take like a 2-week break, but I could be wrong. But it comes October 6th, Core 2, and I might just transfer over, I think, actually. We also got Dan Da Dan. It's like a supernatural type of anime. That comes October 3rd with 12 episodes. There's a lot of hype around this anime, so I've never read the manga, but apparently it's super good. So one can pray that it's actually going to be good. We also got, which could be, see, this is where this anime and Blue Lock and Bleach are going to be in a toss-up for best anime of the season for me for this fall. Shangri-La Season 2, coming October 13th, 26 episodes. We're getting another deep season. I'm glad it came that fast. Because, man, left us off with the cliffhanger. I just really love the story of it. I really love that I'm enjoying a video game anime. That's essentially what it is. You know, it's better than SAO. It knows what it is, like you say, Promos.
Yep.
It's not like a super OP MC. No, he's grinded for that shit, and it shows you how he's grinded for that shit. And so I'm really excited for that. You know, I'll be watching those three for sure. We also have Dan Machi, which I don't really know much about Dan Machi, but season 5 is coming out.
Dan Machi is really good.
As I say, I've heard good things about it, but I've never actually sat down, tried to watch it. But with 4 seasons, you know, I might have to get myself a little bit of time.
It's one of those animes that starts off as a comedy adventure anime that gets really in depth with the storytelling and yet still somehow remains a comedy and adventure anime.
I'll have to watch it then.
Yeah.
We also have Uzumaki, which is the
Jinjito.
Jinjito. There's going to be 4 episodes of that coming September 28th. I'm actually super excited because I've seen a trailer and the animation actually looks. I don't know how to describe that animation. I don't know if anyone knows those type of manga, but they're pretty much just like horror manga for anime.
Yep. He is very, very peculiar about who he licenses to. And he also loves cats. So he is kind of like the Stephen King of horror manga. He is like the biggest name. You don't get bigger than him. All of his stories are one-shots. They're never a series. So as a result,
I think there's 4 episodes coming out, 4 different stories. So I'm actually super excited for that. I'm definitely going to be watching that. September 28th comes out. I don't know if I said that. Another one that I haven't watched, but I heard is really good is Afrita Season 3.
I haven't watched Afrita yet either.
I heard it's good. You know, I heard that the animation is phenomenal. But you know, that's just one of those ones where like I should have started season 1. I haven't got into it since. We also have, which I think you might know more than I do, because I've never even heard of this anime. But you know, you're a little bit older than me, so you might know it. Ranma 1.5 remake. I don't know.
Ranma 1/2, yep. It was one of the first animes I ever watched.
That comes October 5th, but there's no information on how many episodes. It looks cool just from the picture. I haven't seen any trailers or anything about it, but it looks good. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
For sure. So those of you who don't know, Ranma 1/2 is by Rumika Takahashi, who did Inuyasha, also Yuri Yatsura. Yuri Yatsura predates Ranma and Inuyasha. Mermaid Scar predates that. Then she did Ranma, which ran for 34 volumes, I want to say, or 7 seasons in anime. And I have all 7 seasons on DVD.
Oh.
And it ended in, I want to say 94. So it's been 30 years since the anime ended. This is one of the animes that launched Megumi Hayashibara's career. Now, for those of you who don't know, she's a voice actress, she's a singer, she's a pop star. She did the voice of Anna in Shaman King. She did Hakumen no Mono in Ushio and Tora. She did both openings and endings for Shaman King. She plays Anna in Shaman King as well, right? So, huge star. But anyway, Ranma One Half. The reason why it's called Ranma One Half is Ranma and his dad swim to China because they're martial artists. So they go from Japan to China and they swim because his dad is a fucking cheapskate. And they find these cursed springs. And there's over 1,000 springs, and a certain something drowned in that spring. And if you fall into that spring, when you get splashed with cold water, you turn into that thing.
Oh.
And the reason why it's called Ranma One Half is he falls into the spring of a drowned girl. So when he gets splashed with cold water, he turns into a girl.
Oh.
His dad turns into a panda.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a whole lot more to it than that. I am hoping that they do the original ending from the manga because unfortunately the anime, the way it ended, was not the way the manga was. I mean, the manga ending isn't that great either. Way better than the ending we got for the anime.
Right.
Now, Ranma is also engaged to Akane. Akane is one of the 3 daughters of Son's training partner of the Anything Goes School of Martial Arts.
Right.
And so they're engaged to be married, but they hate each other.
Oh, great. One of those.
But a whole bunch of other shenanigans and stuff like that, because now you have people who transform into things when they get wet. The only way they transform back is with hot water. And all of this you'll find out in the first episode. So you have to have a bath or a shower. Right? It is a martial arts comedy anime. It is in no way to be taken seriously. And Rumika Takahashi herself has said that there are some times that my jokes don't land with the Japanese audience, but land with the Western audience because of the way that it's written, because it's her sense of humor. So there are jokes in there that the Japanese audience will be like, this isn't funny. And the Western audience will be like, that's fucking hilarious. Now, as a little side caveat, we talk about guys who are all like perverts in anime. Nobody in anime has more of a perverted streak than Happosai from Ranma One Half. Not Rudy, not purple ballhead guy from My Hero Academia, not even Kintaro Oe from Golden Boy. Comes even fucking close to Happosai. How much are they going to tone it down? I don't know, because what was acceptable 30 years ago is definitely not acceptable now. Unfortunately, he is essential to the story.
I'm excited.
So, the only thing that I'm questioning is I watched the trailer and they're doing the kind of manga coloring style where it looks like they have filters on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, it's going to be a very hard watch for me because I enjoyed the clean color animation of the original.
Which makes sense.
So, kind of there, but it's a comedy martial arts anime. They do not make manga and anime like this anymore. They just don't. No. And I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air for a lot of new anime fans who've never watched the original.
Yeah, I'll be excited to watch it then.
So the original series is 7 seasons of anime, 6 OVAs, 2 movies, and then they also did a special for, was it TV Tokyo, like 10 or 12 years ago? It was the first Ranma episode they'd done in like 25 years or 20 years or something, and that was friggin' hilarious. But definitely give it a try. It is, like I said, it's a huge comedy thing because Rumika Takahashi wanted to write a male character as well as a female character, and she couldn't decide which one to write as the protagonist. And that's what the idea was, like, why can't this person be both?
I mean, smart idea. I'm hoping I'm hoping to like it. I'll definitely have to watch it. We also have Gun Gale Online Season 2. October 4th. I don't really know much about the SOAO Gun Gale. I just know that that season was ass. We also have Rurouni Kenshin season 2. It doesn't have a release date, but it says it comes out in October.
Rurouni Kenshin is kind of like a masterpiece anime, despite the fact that the creator is a piece of garbage.
Yeah, season 1 of the remake was phenomenal. I've never watched the original, so
the only thing I miss from the original over the new one is the same thing in Full Metal Alchemist. It's the music. Oh, and the original guy who voiced Saito, Saito Hajime, based on a real character. The guy who voiced him in the original series was phenomenal, but he passed away like 20 years ago. And he, like, the guy they got suits the character so well, but I still, like, you know, when you watch a remake of anime, you still got that kind of voice in your ear that you want to hear the other guy. That's kind of where my brain's at.
Yeah, I've never watched the original, so I wouldn't really know too much, but that's okay. I like this newer season. It's really good. We also have Blue Box. I don't know much about this anime. It comes October 3rd. Doesn't say how many episodes, but I'll probably watch a Synapse or read a Synapse or maybe try to find a trailer and see if it looks good or entertaining. I'm not even going to attempt to say this name. Actually, I will. Sorari Ginsokai, season 2. No idea what that is. Didn't even know there was this first season. Blue Exorcist is coming back. So that's super exciting for people who are Blue Exorcist fans. I know I watched the first season or two. I think it was just the first season and I really liked it. Kind of just fell off though. Grieving Soul Retriever. Don't know much about that one either. Looks interesting just from the picture, but I don't know. That comes October 1st. Same with the Anagami Sister. Not really sure, but that one looks like a romance anime. Don't know much more about that. Another isekai, which is loner life in another world. It looks more of like a harem type of.
Yeah, it reminds me of
the picture.
Reminds me of one from last season. My level 2 superpower or super cheat skill.
Yeah. I know.
Which actually ended up being really good.
I never finished it. I kind of fell off it.
I was gonna fall off, but again, I ended up binging it just because I'd already started it and I had nothing else to watch. And it ended up being really good, kind of in a wholesome way, because even though it's harem styled, he only has one. The other girls are just there as kind of like almost like sisters, but not sister wives. There's nothing like nefarious or perverted going on. He just has the one. And I liked that.
Okay, maybe I'll finish watching it then. We have Aristocat season 2. I heard first season was really good.
I haven't watched it yet. I keep meaning to, and I haven't watched it. Same with Eminence and Shadow.
Yeah, it's same. I need to watch both of those. I heard it's good. That comes out September 29th. Just a few more here. Couple I haven't heard of. I think all of these except for like 2 I haven't heard of. So I'll have to do my own research on those and then let you guys know how I feel about the first couple episodes when they drop. We have another one called Trillionaire Game. The picture.
I haven't heard any good things about that.
I was just gonna say it doesn't look very good. Just from looking at the picture that I'm looking at, it looks like that animation's like a. I think the best way to put, which I mean, it's not terrible, but if it's like Japanese made, it could be like those, like the animation from like Archer, the show Archer. It looks kind of like that. Which I mean, it's not horrible, but I mean, usually with shows like that, they're just stupid, but like they're funny because they're stupid. So it's like,
and then you find out they're written by people with like doctorates and stuff, and there's super intelligent humor underlying the stupidity of it. Thanks, Futurama. You've ruined that for me.
We have Goodbye Dragon Life. This one kind of looks like one of those I will parry everything type of animes. From the picture, it looks interesting, but also at the same time, it looks like it could be one of those just terrible animes. it has a good first episode and then it falls off hella bad.
Right.
Um, so I might look into that. I might try to. Like I said, I'm gonna try to watch all of these, um, just to get my own kind of personal opinion. But who knows if I have the time to watch all these. Uh, we have Yakuza Fiance, which comes October 7th. This one kind of looks like a 90s style anime, just from looking at the animation. Don't know much about that. I don't know if you do, but
I haven't heard anything about that one, but it sounds kind of like uh Way of the House Husband.
oh, okay, okay. I know what you're talking about.
That's what it sounds
Then
like.
we
For all I know, I could be wrong.
Then we have Hamidashi Creative, October 4th. I've heard really good things about this. I don't really know what the anime or manga is about. All I've said is that, all I've read is that this is going to be an amazing story-based anime. So, I'm actually excited for that one. We also have You Are Miss Servant, October 5th. That one kind of looks like one of those weird, the maid is super OP for no odd reason, but hides it, saves the kid of the family or whatever. They have to go on this whole those one of those
Yeah.
type of, kind of looks like that. Next one, I know I'm going kind of through this list kind of fast. There's just been a lot coming out this season. But we're almost done here with the fall season. We can talk about what we're kind of excited for the last little bit. We got Duel Masters Lost. I have no idea what this kind of looks like, but it kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off. Duel Masters
Okay.
is, yeah. That's literally all I know about it. I don't know if it's a spin-off, a continuation, a sequel. I just know that it is part of the Yu-Gi-verse, I guess.
Okay, I'll definitely have to do some more research and look into that. And then we have I'll Become a Villainess, and this kind of looks like a romance anime where one girl likes another girl, then the other girl, or they both like the same guy. One girl becomes a villain,
Mhm.
like trying to just ruin shit. That's what it looks like.
It's yet another villainous anime. I always try them because sometimes they bend the trope in a way that's unexpected, and other times it's crap. So the first one was I was reincarnated as villainous. All flags lead to doom. That was my first taste of a villainous anime. I'm like, okay, fine, it's kind of whatever. There's been a couple. The one that surprised me so far, in terms of bending the tropes, was I'm in love with the villainous. And
I
that
did wanna
one,
watch that.
that one for touching on LGBTQ topics in Japan was so tastefully done that I was like, bravo. Like it was so well done. Like the characters are all talking about why they love their love interest. And they ask the main characters to, why are you in love with the villainous? And she's like, well, I definitely know that I'm not straight, but there's just something about her that, and she talks about it. And it's like, what about you? I was like, oh, well, I could never be in love with a girl, but I'm in love with this character because of this. Why? Like they actually have like a proper open conversation about it. And because the main character is reincarnated into the Otome video game, she knows what's going to happen, but we as viewers don't know what's going to happen, and she doesn't tell you. So it's also a surprise to us as to why she does things the way she does.
Okay.
For a villainous anime, it's really good. For a Yuri anime, it's very tastefully done. And for a high school Otome video game anime, it's about par for the course.
Right. Okay, well, I'll definitely have to look into that. And then for the last one, we have 365. I don't know why I just read it like that. 365 Days to the Wedding, which looks like another, like one of those romance. They look like teens, probably set up marriage or something like that. I don't really know much about that one, but there is a lot in here that I am super excited about. And then a lot that I'll definitely look into, and if I don't like it, then I'll just drop it. But I think the one I'm really most excited for is probably Bleach. I just want to watch it. Same with the Dan Dan, I don't fucking whatever.
Did I
I
not?
don't know. There's a lot this season that I'm actually really looking forward to watch. So
I'm hoping to find some good anime this season. I am excited to see Kenshin again. I'm excited for ReZero. I'm hoping Ranma's going to be good because that is one of my all-time favorite anime. Put it this way. When I started watching Ranma, I was 12 or 13 and there was nudity in the first episode.
oh
So, amazing. But as I got older and as I continued watching the series and as it continued being released on VHS, which is where I originally bought it, at the $40 for 2 episodes era of anime. Thank God that's over. You streaming kids have no idea how lucky you have it. I bought season 1 on VHS. Okay, and it was 8 tapes plus a bonus music video tape where it had all the music videos of the openings and endings. And it was a box set, a VHS box set. It was $240
jeez.
for 26 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
So no, it would have been 13 episodes. Sorry. Or 13 tapes, 14 tapes with the bonus music video. It was $240.
Yo, we got a lucky.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
So everyone's like, I don't want to pay, $10 to Crunchyroll for unlimited anime. Like, bite me.
Yeah, no, I'm saying $120 a year for unlimited anime.
Right?
Can't complain.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I hope Ranma's good. I have actually been avoiding everything because I kind of want to go in with kind of a fresh perspective, not, oh, the trailer's ruining it for me, or, the original character voice actors aren't back, because I never looked into it. I'm like, I literally want to go in blind. Now that's one of the animes that I watch dubbed, but I also watch subbed, because when I used to go to the anime nights, because where I am, we used to have an anime night every last Wednesday of the month, and we'd watch hours of anime, and he only had the subs. I had the dubs because that's all that my store was selling.
Mm-hmm.
The voice actor for Ranma changed 2 or 3 times, like the male Ranma.
Oh.
And stuff like that. Like, this is when the voice actors were literally just being interchanged out before ADV went and ruined that. And that was right around 94 with Evangelion. Because ADV got a bunch of really big licensed animes. They made a ton of money off of Evangelion. But they only had the same 5 or 10 voice actors, and they put them in every single anime.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you're a woman. We need a woman. Talk here. Do I need to change my voice? No. Just use the same voice you used for the last 3 animes.
That's wild.
That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching dub anime. Because once that started to happen, a lot of companies are like, oh, we can save money by just having, a couple of stable voice actors in our midst rather than actually casting an anime.
Right.
And so I went back to the original Japanese anime, and I really haven't looked back since. There are a few outliers, like Dragon Ball is one that I will only watch in English.
Yeah, I've felt that.
But yeah, like, this season looks like it could be solid. But I mean, between winter, spring, winter, and fall of the last year, I'm not surprised that we're getting kind of mid seasons where it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of used they kind of used everything up, and like with Jujutsu Kaisen, like, I might not like it, but I understand why it's a phenomenon. I understand why people do like it. And how are you supposed to compete with that? How is an anime, animation company supposed to compete with an anime that has a following that rabid? Exactly. Right? So I hope this season's good. I hope that we can finally get on the train of, discovering some new stuff. I'm hoping some new anime is coming out. I'm hoping the Junji Ito one does really well. I don't watch horror anime, but it feels like the horror genre and the psychological thrillers and stuff like that really don't get a lot of love. And when they do, the fans are like, oh my God, this is so great. And then nobody capitalizes on it. And there's a lot of really good ones out there. So here's hoping that the horror fans, especially in time for Halloween, get some really decent thriller anime.
Facts. No, I'm really excited to watch those 4 episodes. I'm really excited. Well, especially just because a lot of returning anime that I'm excited to watch. So that's why I've been waiting for this season. There's a few outliers that are brand new. I'm kind of been, like hoping that they're good.
Yep.
So.
Well, I always start watching the season with the ones that I want to watch, and then depending on my time or depending on whether I get to the point where like, okay, I'm caught up on everything that I wanted to watch. Now there's 2 or 3 episodes of these other ones that I'm going to try, and I'll sit down and I'll try them, and that's where I discover animes like Skeleton Knight. Where it's like, okay, this looks kind of stupid. You watch the first episode and go, this is not at all what I was expecting. Right?
Because it's not.
And then other times you're like, oh man, this anime is fire. This is so great. And then you watch it and you go, who likes this? Why? And you start twitching because your brain is just shut right down.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this season. Next time, what I want to dive into is character versus. And I don't want to actually do any like versus characters. I don't want to say, oh, let's everybody versus Goku. Blah.
Right.
I want to kind of tackle the epidemic that seems to be very heavy in the anime community of who beats who and why and all this crap, when really it's just, I'm a fan of this person and he can beat up everybody because I'm a fan and I'm right.
Yeah, I'm trying to dive into that.
So that's kind of what I want to look into for next time. FYI, the answer to the most powerful anime character of all time is Sailor Moon. So have fun with that, whatever you will.
Or Saint Seiya, but that's just my. I agree with Sailor Moon, but
yeah, but
Saint Seiya could be up there.
Yeah, there are a lot of characters up there. The thing I want to get into is the ridiculous notion that one character like, I don't know, Naruto going against Sailor Moon, Naruto would win. How?
Yeah.
Unless he kills her on the way to school, how?
No wrong.
So, we'll get into that at a little later date, but kind of a little preview for the next time. Hopefully we'll have a few more hands on deck. I know a lot of our co-hosts and friends and guests are all kind of dealing with their own shit right now. So shout out to everybody if you're doing well. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And I think that's going to do it for us tonight, unless you got something else there, Kim.
No, just kind of excited to be back, recording some stuff, some content for everyone that watches, especially for myself. It's good to actually finally yap a little bit. I'm sure my girlfriend's getting tired of me yapping. She's just sitting there like, what are you even talking about? So,
well, then you need to indoctrinate her into anime.
She watches a little bit of it.
No. I said indoctrinate. I didn't say share. There's a difference.
Okay, you're right.
All right, that's gonna do it for us this time, you guys. Please leave comments, like, subscribe, all that other YouTube jazz, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers.
Peace.